Hey everyone, my name is Monroe Mann with Break Diving. Today we are having a time management seminar, how to improve your time management skills. I'm the author of two time management books. One is Time Zen and the other is Successful New Year 2022 with new versions every year. And this is coming to you from Break Diving. So come visit us and join our awesome worldwide community of awesome people at breakdiving.io. What's break diving? Don't wait for opportunities to float to the surface. Dive in and make your own breaks. Today we're joined with Nafi, who has her camera on, and I appreciate that, in India. So I don't feel like I'm talking to myself, but we also have a bunch of others here. Ria's here from India. Gay is here from the Philippines.
Hello.
What? Oh, did she say hello? Hello.
Yeah. Hi, guys.
Hichandra is also from India. Betty is from Indonesia. And did I miss anybody? I think I got everyone. Great. Hello, Betty. Nice to see you, or nice to hear you, as the case may be. So I wanted to, this is one of the books I was talking about. Successful New Year 2022 by me. And so it's a funny story about this book. Every year I come out with a new one. I change the year, I change the cover photo, and I update the dates. And basically every week is a different section, like week 19 of 52, 5 minutes or bust. And week 11, reevaluating your one-year plan and whatnot. Hey, Gay turned on our camera too. Thanks for joining the Cool Club.
Hi, Gay.
Hi, guys.
Why did I make this planner? The number one reason is time management is up to you. You have to figure out the system that is going to work best for you, and it will not be the same for everyone. So someone may say, oh my gosh, this is the best planner, or this is the system that I use, or I use this particular app, or I use paper to-do lists, or whatever it may be. Maybe that'll work for you, maybe not, but you've got to try. And if you can't find a system that works for you, you have to create it yourself. And so I created this because there is no planner that does what this does. There are some planner, there are calendars, there are journals where it has a weekly planner, but it doesn't give you any inspiration. Then there are inspiring books, but it doesn't actually help you plan. It's just kind of a book. And then there are to-do lists, but the to-do list is a very objective and non-emotional construct. That's something that you create. And I thought, why can't I have something that puts all of this together? And for me, I wanted an inspiring book that was also a calendar and a planner, and it helped me with my to-do lists and motivated me every week. So I created that. That may or may not, oh, Carlos is here. That may or may not help you, but you need to figure out, so we're going to talk about some time management strategies here today. You need to think, okay, that may or may not work for me, but I might try it. And so I'm going to share with you the system that I've created for managing my time. And it's worked very well for me. I've accomplished quite a bit in my life. And you may say, I love this entire system. I want to use it. You may say, I like this and this, but I don't know if I'm comfortable doing that, or that won't work for me, whatever. And just as a final note, this is not everything. I can't cover everything in about 30 minutes, but it's an overall basic idea of how this all works. Hi, Carlos. Nice to see you.
Hi, Monroe. How are you doing?
I'm well. Where are you again? In what country?
Brazil.
Brazil. Cool. Awesome. Great to have you here. So and before any of you have to leave, let me know, because I want to do one more photo now that Carlos is here as well. So we'll have an even bigger group photo. So let me share the screen here again and go back to this thing with the time management strategies. So number one, and these are some of the things I talked about in the chat room. I mentioned before actually that it's only about two things, time management. It's organization and discipline. And I'm going to mute everybody because there's some noise coming through. If you need to talk, just unmute yourself. So time management strategies, organization and discipline. Those are the only two things that you need to get things done. But you can't do it without, if either of those two things is missing, you're done. Why? First of all, you need organization. You basically think of your life as a business, which it is. You're running Me Inc. So Nafi Inc., Carlos Inc., Ria Inc., Monroe Inc. I've got an organization, and that organization needs organization. So the first thing is you have to figure out, where are you going? How are you going to get there? And why is it important that you get there? Those first two are the organizational part. The why is it important is the discipline part. That's what's going to make you get things done. People ask you sometimes, they say, hey, can you come to dinner with me tonight at 7 p.m.? And you might say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't. I have to take care of my brother. Or I'm sorry, I can't. My car is in the shop. Or I can't. I have a prior engagement with my friend to go see a movie. But that's not the real reason why you can't go to dinner with your friend. The real reason why you can't go to dinner with your friend is because it's not important enough to you to break your other plans to go and have dinner with your friend. So when you say, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have time. Oh, I'm so busy with work. I'm so busy with taking care of the kids. I'm so busy with my new job or my job search. I'm so busy, so I can't. It's a bunch of crap. It's 100% a bunch of crap. You are coming up with excuses. And so the biggest time management tip, number one, is just stop being lazy. Right here, I'll just put that in there. Stop being lazy. And some people take offense at that and go, how dare you tell me you don't know anything about me? I am not lazy. I'm not a lazy person. I'm sorry, you are. I'm the first to admit that I'm lazy. I get a heck of a lot done, but why don't I get more done? Because I'm lazy. Because I get stuck on Netflix. I start playing a stupid game. I spend 7 hours at the beach surfing instead of 2 hours, whatever it is. That's still being lazy.
Mauro,
Yeah.
people usually this is a word that I learned yesterday called procrastination.
Yes.
People used to do this procrastination to put off your agenda, you put off or something that you have to do. So here, for example, in my country, people is very procrastinating people. I think it's a cultural trait. People usually procrastination ever. So unfortunately, here is that way.
It's not just in your country. It happens even in the United States. Are there probably more non-procrastinating people in the United States than in Brazil, for example? Well, first of all, we're a bigger country, so there's more population. And there are probably more people in India than in the United States who are good at getting things done. Why? Because there's four times as many people in India than in the US. It is a cultural thing sometimes. I'm not going to mention any countries or that, but certain cultures get things done. If you think of Americans as a whole, Americans are known for being loud, entrepreneurial, arrogant, get out of my way. And some of that's true, some of that's not, but there is that idea that why do people come to America? Because they don't want to procrastinate. They want their dreams to come true. They want to fight. And we're going to talk about the whole idea of procrastination. In my book, Time's End, I talk about how the fact that procrastination is more it's not something you do. You don't really procrastinate. You are doing something. You're just doing the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing. I'm taking this course on the meaning of life, and it talks about the Bhagavad Gita from India. And one of the things it talks about is there's no such thing as inaction. A lot of times you'll hear motivational people say, you must take action. You must move. And the truth is, we're always taking action and we're always moving. The question is, which direction are we moving in and what action have we chosen to take? So the people who procrastinate have chosen an action of sitting on the couch and watching TV, or going and playing golf every day instead of focusing on buying a new real estate investment property. So they're not being lazy. I'll put this in quotations here. It's not really lazy. They're deliberately doing something. These people are deliberately choosing, myself included. Last night, I wanted to do a bunch of writing on this book proposal, but then I found out there was a new episode of Better Call Saul. I went, oh, I want to watch. So what did I do? I ended up taking action in the direction of watching this TV show rather than taking action in the direction of working on the book proposal. This is why I said earlier, there's always, the only reason why you don't have time to do something is because it wasn't important enough to you, because something else took priority. Rightly or wrongly, watching this TV show last night became a priority for me rather than working on the book proposal.
Do you regret it?
100%, of course. I'd say 50-50. Am I happy that I watched the show? Yes, but put it this way. I think it's also this way too. I'd say 60% regret it because the TV show was recorded on YouTube. I have this recording feature. So I could have watched it today. I could have watched it tomorrow, and I should have watched it as a reward for after working on the book proposal. It's okay. I'm not too worked up about it because I'm going to do that work on the book proposal today. But the problem is when you keep putting something off, I'll do it tomorrow until tomorrow, and then you never do it. And I think that's this idea of procrastination. I'll stop being lazy and stop procrastinating, because it's the same thing. And or stop taking the wrong action. That's really what it is. We try to give us this excuse like, oh, I'm so lazy. I'm such a procrastinator. That kind of it makes it seem like that's part of who you are, your being. Oh, it's not my fault. I'm just lazy. It's not my fault. I'm just a procrastinator. It's harder to say, oh, it's not my fault. I like to take the wrong action. When you think about that, all of a sudden you think, what is wrong with me? Why do I keep taking the wrong action? And then suddenly you can ask yourself, what is the right action that I could be doing now? And it's difficult. I'm telling you, when you see that TV show come up or this or that, or the right action when it comes to time management is always something that's probably not extremely fun. Me working on the book proposal, when I get started working on it, it's like going to the gym. You don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to go for a 30-minute hard bike ride. I do in my head, but when you get closer to actually doing it, your logical mind starts going, oh.
Mauro,
Carlos.
Do you agree that's very hard to broker this threat, this behavior? Because sometimes you are a lazy person, sometimes you said on the couch, stay on the couch, and sometimes it's very hard to do the agenda, or well, it's very hard for some people to do that. But
Sure.
the most important
I know exactly what you're saying, and the answer is the only way to avoid number one is to do number two. Your why needs to be so strong that nothing else is a higher priority. And we can do an exercise here where we'll do an exercise in a little bit where each of us will come up with something that we want to accomplish this year. And we're going to figure out what the why is. Let me just give an example. This book proposal, I've been working on it with my colleague in California for about 2 years, maybe 3 years. It's been going on for a long time. And sometimes 6 weeks go by and neither of us does any work on it. My colleague did work on it 6 weeks ago. I didn't touch it for 6 weeks. And then finally, 3 days ago, I spent an hour on it. altogether, we've probably only spent about 10 hours total on this book proposal. If he and I work together efficiently, we could do it in one day. But it's not a huge priority. The strong why is not there in both of our lives. He's working at his full-time job. I'm working on brake diving. I moved down here to Florida. I'm working on the private investigation firm. I have 1.5 million things going on. I want to finish this book proposal, but I also know that just finishing the proposal alone is not going to guarantee success. Then it's a matter of pitching it to 200, 300 literary agents hoping to get an agent. Then if we get an agent, the agent has to then pitch it to book publishers. Then the I mean, this, even if it's still 2 or 3 years probably before the book would even see the light of day. But how did I find the strength an hour, 3 days ago to work on it for an hour? I just thought to myself, Monroe, do you want to see this book published? Yes. Could you die sometime in the next few weeks? Yes. Would you like to at least have the proposal done so you could pitch it to agents, and maybe my colleague Jonathan could finish it even without me if we can first get an agent? Yes. And is it really important to you? Are you going to help a lot of people when this book is published? And the answer is yes. So get off your ass and write the proposal for an hour. And the why has to be so strong. Last night, why did I end up watching YouTube? For whatever reason, the why of watching this show became more of a priority than the why of the book proposal. Until, of course, this morning, when I realized, crap, we have this time management event today, and well, I better make sure I finish it. And now my why is back. And later today, I'm going to spend 1 hour. The proposal is virtually done. I'm just going to go through and proofread it. We'll have our first draft done by tonight. And why am I going to set aside this time? I could do a lot of things. I could go to the beach. I could go for a bike ride. I could go swimming. I could work on brake diving coding. I could go visit my mom. I could blah, 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 blah. I mean, there are a million things I could do. And the key is creating, and number 3 is creating clear priorities. You need to really figure out here, like in this workbook, one of the things is every year is, let me just find this very quickly. I come up with a list of what are my top 10 strives for the year. And every single year and every month I look at this, and what's on this list right now? Publish my novel, publish this It Factors book, get up to $75,000 of income, YouTube to 2,000 subscribers, get my green belt in Krav Maga and Taekwondo, studying linguist French, get up to 3,500, blah, 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 blah. Keep going on. I'm constantly reviewing that list. Most people do not. And I have things on my wall. Look, even up here, I have that list after I created it. It's on my wall. It says my 2022 target strives. The idea, and I look at that every single day. And I look at it and go, what can I do today that I haven't? So what's something on this list that I've been neglecting? And I go, all right, I'm going to spend 30 minutes doing that. So first of all, Carlos, do not look at your culture and do not compare yourself to other people. Forget about everybody else. Forget even about me. All you need to do is do better today with your time management and your prioritizing and your organization than you did yesterday. And if you can get, if you like, for example, Betty wants to study, improve her English. Betty, you there? Yes. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
So you wanted to practice English. Find the time to attend these events. You're not going to have better opportunities to practice English, I don't think, more easily than from your home for free with your friends here at Breakdiving. So if it's something that's really important to you, I want to improve my English, show up. Find the time to come to these things and make sure you speak up too. Here you're getting an opportunity to listen because this was more of a seminar rather than a group workshop. But just none of you guys got to remember what's our break divers creed here. Remember, let's just put that here. No rules, no excuses, no regrets.
No
And
regret.
I was talking about the no regrets part with Betty the other day. It's important that you don't understand. It doesn't mean forget all of your past mistakes and feel good about every decision you've ever made. It's impossible to do that. You're going to have regrets in life, especially if you're a brake diver, because you're going to be trying really difficult things and falling flat on your face. I do it every day, and it's extremely difficult. And over the years, I've amassed many, many regrets. And some of them are heartbreaking, some of them are debilitating. But the no regrets part is don't let those regrets control your life. We all have regrets, but there are two types of people. There are people who go, I got all these regrets and I'm just going to sit in my bathtub and cry about how life sucks and it's so unfair. Or you can say, yeah, I made some bad decisions. I'm learning a lot from them. There are going to be other opportunities that are equal or better. That's such a key thing about, and this is important about time management, because again, if your mindset is not in the right spot, you're not going to take the action, as the Bhagavad Gita talks about, to make something come true. I just lost my train of thought. We were talking about this, the no regrets. My point being is, accept that you're going to have regrets. Keep pushing forward, knowing that, we have all had some time in our life where we feel we screwed up really bad. And we think and it was a once in a lifetime opportunity and nothing else will ever be able to replace what was lost. It's 100% not true. The reason why it's true that you might not be able to get the exact replica of what you lost, but in time, you can find something that gives you the exact same feeling and or a better feeling than the thing that was lost. So that's the thing with regrets. We're not regretting the thing that we lost or the job that we got fired from. We miss the feeling that we got from that job. We miss the feeling that somebody gave us. This is why you hear these stories about these people with heartbreak. Their lives are go to hell. Oh my God, she broke up with me. He broke up with me. You're getting a divorce. Everything's terrible. And then 5 years later, oh my gosh, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. It's because of that I ended up moving to this place. And I found this job and I met this woman or man. And wow, look at this. And my life has never been better. And then 3 years later, oh my God, I can't stand this person. Blah, 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 whatever. And you have more regrets. And then you jump to the next one. But the key is just hold on long enough for this regret to turn into a springboard to something greater. So again, creating the clear priorities. I always tell people time management starts from the day that you die. What do I mean by that? Too many people create to-do lists. And well, this is going to number 4, make daily to-do lists. This is important, but more important is make tomorrow focused to-do lists. So why do I say time management starts with the day that you die? Go ahead, Carlos. Carlos is raising his digital hand.
Oh, Moro, I'm sorry, because I'm the middle of the day. I am the time lunch, and the time lunch is over.
Oh,
I'm working now. I'm not working now, so I have to go to my business. It's just right here. Can you see that?
it's a beautiful building.
Yes. I just lunch time now, so I get back to the work.
Let me do one thing. Let me stop the share. Let me pause the recording. Pause recording. Okay, we just took the group photo again, so we're back. And let me share my screen again. Share screen, whiteboard. So what I was just saying is you need to think about the day you die. Too many people think, a lot of people, I used to do this every day. I used to do this every day. And you say, well, where are you going to be in 10 years? Well, I don't know. Well, what about in 25 years? Well, that's way too down. I can't think that far ahead. I can't even think beyond this week. I'm just trying to pay my rent. Well, that's the mentality of a financial and dream making loser, with all due respect. If if your primary focus is focused on your problems of today, you're going to stay exactly where you are today for the rest of your life. This is why so many people, to time management, people don't realize it is 100% psychology. It has very little to do with time management. You're not managing time. If you have the right psychological attitude, the time management just happens. If you have an extremely clear why, you know where you're going to be in 15 or 20 years. If you think, Monroe, where are you going to be in 20 years? I know I'll be in my mid 60s and I'm going to have enough money to retire on. Brake diving is a huge worldwide success. My private investigation firm is a huge success. Have more than enough passive income that I don't have to work anymore. I mean, a whole many things that I picture in my head. Could that change? Of course, we're a company. It's Monroe Man Inc. And any business owner who doesn't change the trajectory and the strategy every 6 months or every year is an idiot. You know that this CEO of Microsoft every 2 weeks is probably reevaluating, is the company going in the right direction? Is the company doing what it needs to do? So all of these things are basically just an instruction manual for how you need to run your actual life. So going back to the day that you die, there's a thing called, this is just it's not really a 6, but let me write your own obituary. Write your own obituary. So an obituary is what is printed in the newspaper on the day that you die. So Monroe Man, born 1977, died 2130, because I'm sure we're going to be able to live for 200 years very soon. Was the founder of brake diving, the world's most successful social media community in the world, even surpassing Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram in terms of its positive effect on people's lives. And you write down what you want to be remembered as. And then what you do is you work backwards. And so many people think, but no, I just want to focus on finishing college. Or all I want to do is figure out a plan to buy my first real estate property. That's not, no, you figure out what people are going to think of you on the day that you die and the impact that you've had on the world, and think of all the things that you want to claim as, yes, this is me. And then you work back. Okay, then what do I need to do in these next 10 years to get there? Okay, now what do I need to be at? Where do I need to be at the 5-year point from now? Okay, what do I need to do 1 year from now to get there? What do I need to do 6 months now to get there? What do I need to do this month to get there? Okay, well, based on that, what do I need to do tonight? And that's why, that way, every single item on your to-do list is not based on what you need. You're not going to put stuff like do the laundry. The laundry has nothing to do with you getting to the CEO of India's biggest corporation in 2027. Some people can say, well, yes, it does, because if I don't have clean clothes, I get it. But doing your laundry shouldn't even be a priority. It should just be something that you do. Come on. You got to just do your laundry. That's great. You need to have basically 2 lists. Your stupid list of stupid life tasks, make enough money to pay rent, do my laundry, do the grocery shopping. Blah, blah. I rarely put those things on a to-do list because eventually my laundry basket just gets filled to the top. And I go, ugh, I guess it's time to do the laundry. My refrigerator, I open it up. There's nothing in here. Okay. And I go to the grocery store, I go onto Amazon Fresh and order stuff. And I'm so focused, I do those things immediately without even thinking. And then boom, I go back to my tomorrow focused to-do list and get to work. And how often do I create this? Every single day. Every night. Sometimes I do it before I go to bed at night and I print it out. And then when I get up in the morning, I just go to the printer and grab the list. I have these apps that I use, Water Do, and I use Microsoft To Do. I use this app called Focus Dog to help keep me focused. And there's so many different strategies, but it 100% starts with writing your own obituary. Because you want to make sure from day one, you no longer want to be doing things on your to-do list that is not going to improve your life in 10 years or 20 years. That's the only stuff that I'm focused on. And that's why when you spend 2 hours and you watch an episode of television, you kind of think, ugh, is this really, did that help my future? You could argue, yes. If you don't relax, at some point you get burned out. So you do need to take a break every once in a while. So I'm not too down on myself for watching the YouTube. But if all of tomorrow I watch 9 hours of Netflix, terrible. And it's horrible that the way that they have it set up now, it's very easy and addicting. You watch one episode and then you want to watch the second, and then you want to watch the third and watch the fourth. And that's okay, maybe once in a while. But if you find yourself doing that all the time, clearly your priorities are wrong. Why are your priorities wrong? Because you don't have a strong enough why to get the things on the top of your priority list done. Next thing that I do is something I call synergistic diversification. Synergistic diversification. Synergy means linking things together. And diversification means don't put your eggs in one basket. So a lot of times people will say, for example, if you're investing in the stock market, if you have 100,000, don't put all of it into Amazon stock. You should put 20,000 in Amazon, 20,000 in Google, 20,000 into the S&P 500, 20,000 into bonds. And honestly, you should probably put the $20,000 somewhere else. Don't even put it in the stock market. Go buy gold. Go buy a real rental real estate property. Go back to school. Start a business. But the problem with diversification, if you do that with your projects, is too many people are not able to get a lot done because they try to, people who don't know me very well, they think Monroe is all over the place. He's trying to be a lawyer. He's trying to be a financial advisor. He's trying to be a web developer and run this social media community. He's trying to start a private investigation firm. He's trying to do rental real estate. He's trying to film a new movie. He's trying his YouTube. It's like, this is people looking at me with the wrong psychological outlook. They look at it as in the way that they would pursue it, which is going off into all these different directions. But it's not that. It's not me going off like this. It's all of these different projects, and they're all leading to the same obituary. And so if you synergize all of them, for example, we're on this break diving call. I'm working here and I mentioned a book that I have. Somebody on YouTube is going to see this and maybe that person's going to buy that book. While I was here, I was making some notes in my head about, okay, well, what do I need to do after this call? We're talking about time management. So that's also synergy. When break diving succeeds, that's going to help every other business that I'm involved with. I don't separate things. Everything is synergized together. I do 1.5 million things, but the success of one, boom, leads to the success of the other. And it's this big ladder and they keep on jumping. So you can do lots of different things at the same time, as long as you don't just diversify, you have to synergize as well. So let me just stop here for a second and see if you guys have any questions, because I already went over a lot of stuff. And make sure you unmute yourself if you want to share. Nafi?
So which one worked for you the most? I mean, to-do list or obituary? Which one?
Nafi,
Uh-huh.
all of them. And to be honest, this list isn't even complete. I could go on. I could give 25 different things. Like for example, here, use a really good planner. I use my successful New Year planner. That's one there. Use apps. Get accountability. And that's another thing. Why do I get so much done? I tell absolutely everybody what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's a way of holding ourselves up accountable.
And it's difficult until I got to the point where I just don't care what people think about me. That's the first thing you have to get over it. But the reason why I'm telling people is because I do care what they think about my reputation. And I want the reputation of somebody who does what he says he's going to do. So I tell people everything that I'm doing. And even though at times they may look at me and go, oh yeah, he told me that he was going to do this, but it's been 3 years and he hasn't done it yet. I always follow through. It may take me a long time. Maybe it'll take me 5-10 years. There are people who knew I started break diving, haven't been in touch with in years. And I still think about them. And I told them that I'm going to make break diving a huge success. And I'm going to be able to make a financial income from it one day soon. I don't talk to them. They probably think, oh, Monroe's a failure. He tried to create the social media. But I still think about him.
What about others? I mean,
What's
others
that?
here. What about others here? They also do to-do lists and all? I just want to ask.
Oh,
Yeah, Ria, Keith.
I was
Nafi
having a
wants to know.
question and I
Nafi
just
wants to know
it
if you
was
guys use to-do lists as well. Ria, Gay, Chandra.
no.
I'm using none.
I have ended up, that to-do list is just I don't know. It got totally waste. I don't know. Because every time I make a list, only simpler task also. Then also there something comes emergency or something what like that I am not able to fulfill my task, whatever it is, my procrastination nature or lazy nature. But yes, I am lacking behind somewhere because of time management. Yeah, I'm lacking. Yeah, I got my question, Munro. I have a question. Okay, so my question is that if I'm having pressure on me, then I am working. And if I have no pressure, then I'm not thinking even about my future.
So
Isn't
you
it strange?
remember I just said you need to get accountability?
Yeah.
That accountability is the stress. I tell people, remember, even on break diving, go, hey guys, I'm going to have the newsletter feature working in a month. I'm scared out of my mind saying this because I'm thinking, I don't know if I can get it done in a month, blah, blah, blah. But now I know that everybody in the community that saw, they go, oh, that's great, Monroe, keep up the good work. Blah, blah. I'm thinking,
Exactly, I did this. I did this in a break diving for taekwondo. I don't know. I don't know whether I'm going to get cream belt or not, but I did it anyway because all of them are supporting, and I have to do it now for them.
it's why why do I
Yeah.
keep posting every month? Hey guys, what are your dives for the month? I'd say only 4, 5, or 6 members actually respond and share. Maybe the other people just read, but post that every month. This is what I'm doing this week. I guarantee you, Ria, if you post in the community,
Oh,
just put,
okay.
this is my plan for the
Okay.
week.
Okay.
And
That means I have to make pressure on myself. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
deliberately create pressure on yourself if that works for you.
And
Uh-huh.
it's not just pressure,
Yeah.
because some people just, when they get pressure, they just collapse, right? I just give up. I can't do it. You need to create pressure, but also have a strong enough why. If you create pressure for yourself, but you don't really want to succeed, you're not going to. Let me give you an example of this.
You know what happened?
Go ahead.
Whenever I join an institution or something, I have a guidance of a mentor or teacher. I'm doing well and good. I think I'm performing my best. But when that force goes away, that force removes from me, then I'll be like the most dumb person ever. I really want to improve this.
So
Yeah.
to be perfectly honest, I am far more productive ever since I started breakdiving. Why?
Yeah.
Because you are all counting on me. You all look up to
Mhm.
me. You're expecting me to be a leader and to show what it means to be a break diver. And that's why
Uh-huh.
and I post more than anybody on here. But as a result,
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
people are commenting more often. I'm getting emails constantly. Nafi responded to your post. Gay responded to your post. Betty responded to your post. And it reminds me, Monroe, get back out of the community. Tell them what you're doing. Keep them updated. Create new events. So, Ria, it could be break diving alone could be the thing. If you just make a plan, all right, for 1 week, for 1 month, every Monday, I'm going to post my plan in the community. Try it. Try it. And then after you post it,
My
print
frightening
it out.
nature, yeah. My fearful nature is like I'm very afraid of telling my goals. I don't.
Ria, who cares if you, it is better to fail than to never try.
It's in
Yeah.
Gita. Yeah.
In your
It's in
head,
Bhagavad Gita.
you think that the feeling of failure is going to be worse than the feeling of regret, of never trying. Trust me, the feeling of regret of I wish I had listened to Monroe and Nafi and Betty and Heat and gotten off my butt and did this, that you're going to feel more embarrassed about not trying in 10 years than you will be trying today and failing. I have failed so, you know how many times break diving has failed? I started break diving the first time in 1999.
Yeah, you have told me the story. Yeah.
The
And
year
that-
I was born.
and it failed and it just didn't work out. And then I came back from Iraq in 2006. I tried it again, didn't work. Finally, I tried it in around like 2009 on Slack. Gay was a part of the community back. Gay, do you remember that?
Yes. Yes,
And-
I remember that.
And she's I think she's one of our longtime members because she was a part of breakdiving before we even had this online community. And it wasn't even working there. So we had to build this website. And right now we have meetings with the staff going, oh, wait, like I looked last week, there were something like 49 active members. To me, I'm going, what is going on? What is it that we are not growing? Why don't we have 200 active members and the next one 300? It's a horrible feeling of failure. And yet I feel great knowing that I'm trying and trying to improve. And every single failure gives me an opportunity to say, okay, that didn't work. Let's try something new. So Ria, just get over it. Nobody cares if you fail. We all think that people care about us and are thinking about us constantly.
I'm very affected. I don't know. I'm very affected by my surroundings. If someone is only single or say, oh my God, to do master in social work. Oh, what is this? A social work? I got disappointed. I don't know, but it's my choice. It's my passion that I want to do this. I just re-encourage myself again and again. But I don't want to be so. I don't want to be get affected by people.
Ria.
Ria,
this
I
thing
have
always troubles me.
Go ahead, Nafi.
Yeah, actually, I have the same problem, and when I like I got this solution for that, I get jealous of people who are like whom I wanted to be. I take role models and be jealous of them. For example, Betty posted a lot of photos of her traveling, right? I really want to travel, and I'm kind of lazy and not ready to spend more money. But when I saw her, I felt so jealous. I let it be. I let it that because that jealous has to be there in order me to go outside and to talk to people. That is so wonderful, and I thank for Betty for posting that. And that maybe work for you. I mean, don't think about those who are saying bad things to you. Just get jealous of people who you think better than you and you want to be. I think that will work. You try it yourself.
Don't be jealous.
I will.
Be
I will.
inspired by them.
Yeah. I,
Yeah,
yeah.
that wrong word. Yeah, that happens with me too. We we don't get the right word at the right moment in English, especially.
Ria, just remember this. Think about break diving. Can you imagine over the last 5 years, even longer than that? Because I told you I tried this back in 1999. Do you know how many people I've told this to and go, dude, that's not going to work. What are you going to compete against Facebook? What, you really think people are going to want to leave Twitter and Instagram to come talk to you? Oh, where did you get your PhD? Oh, you got it at Capella? Oh, so it's not from Columbia University? Oh, you're not a licensed clinical psychologist? Well, what do you know about helping people with positive psychology? Well, you just have to realize, screw these people. I
Yeah.
have this expression, get on board or get out of my way. Meaning, I have my plan for my life. And if you want to be a part of this life and the adventure that I'm going on, as all of you guys are here at Break Diving, hey, come on board. Let's go on this train journey together. If not, get off the train. I don't want to hear from you. So there's rejection and it comes all the time, but you have to realize, for example, I teach at EF 2 days a week, this business and finance class to foreign students from Europe, from South America, from Asia. And they had a teacher appreciation day and they asked me to leave my boss asked me to leave this classroom for 5 minutes at the end of class. And my boss asked all of the students in that particular class to write something nice about me for teacher appreciation day. So there were about 20 people and they put them all together. They put a ribbon around it and they gave it to me the next day. And I'm reading through them all. Actually, I have them right here.
Wow, that's nice.
So I
It
have
feels
this.
amazing.
So
Wow.
they're all really nice. Some of them are one like a wonderful person. He doesn't just focus on blah, blah, blah. He's a very inspiring person. What a great teacher. He has so much energy and a cool vibe. Okay, but then there's one. Get ready. Let me find this very funny one. All right. He is self-confident, but too much. He doesn't teach anything. He just talks about himself all the time. And he's way too loud. So it doesn't matter where you are or what you try to do or how good you are at what you do. I know I'm a good teacher. I don't need anybody to tell me that. And yet it was nice to read these wonderful comments. But what is the one that stuck out at me? The one that says he's too self-confident, he doesn't teach, he talks about himself, and he's loud. And all I'm telling you, Ria, is when you're telling people about your master's of social work, you have to be so confident in what you're doing that when someone says, well, why are you doing that? Well, you just go, I don't need to explain or prove myself to you. To this student, I don't need to prove myself to him. There's always going to be somebody who doesn't like you. There's a really great quotation that our 16th president of the US, Abraham Lincoln, once said. He said, you can please some of the people all the time. You can please all of the people some of the time, but you can never please all of the people all of the time. And if you think about that, Ria,
I have also read that.
What?
I have also heard that quote.
So think about that moving forward with your life. Be proud of the decision you made to get your social work degree. Know that you're never going to convince everybody. There are things that I've done that my mom and my friends and have said, what are you doing? You're not going to succeed at that, blah, 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 blah. And I just use it as fuel and I go, watch me, right? So use it as fuel, use it as fuel to prove that now you're going to get the master's of social work and become so successful. And people go, wow, And of course, when you become the same people that told you that it was a stupid idea in 5 years, when you're a big famous social worker in India, oh, Ria, I always knew you could do it. It was such a great idea for you to get your master's in social work. And I'm glad you took my advice. And you're like, I don't remember you supporting me in the last 5 years. So, Heat, and Gay, do you guys have any questions, comments on what we're talking about?
No, I don't have questions.
Okay.
I also don't have.
All right, well, I want to do just a few exercises before we go. So we're going to go around and I want you to share 3 things that you want to be written in your obituary about you. Remember, your obituary is what someone else is going to write about your accomplishments and your contributions to the world. So I'll just, off the top of my head, again, I've been doing this so often, I can just do this. So 1, Monroe Man started the most inspiring and helpful social media community in the world that resulted in-person motivational educational events in over 500 major cities monthly. Number 2,
Wow.
Monroe's not-for-profit private investigation firm Intertect became so famous that Interpol and major companies and corporations and governments around the world all ended up working with and hiring Intertech because of their high level of expertise and professionalism, becoming with annual income over $2 billion. And number 3, Monroe Man was one of the most incredible motivational speakers in the world, giving sold out shows at stadiums of 35,000 people plus in every country in the free world where he could gain access, blah, 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 whatever. But again, like knowing that that's how I want to be remembered when I die, don't you realize how easy it is for me now to figure out, well, what do I need to do today? I need to continue public speaking. I need to get more followers on YouTube. I need to work on breakdiving to help get more members. I have to take the next step with the private investigation firm, blah, 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 blah. But my to-do list for today is so easy to make and the priorities are so easy because I know how I want to be remembered. There's no guarantee I could die tomorrow. But assuming that I don't, at least it gives me an opportunity. So just take a minute for 1 minute, write down on paper or type it out the top 3 things you want to be remembered for. Try to be specific, try to be ambitious, think big, and we'll go around and you guys will share some of those with us in a moment. And for those of you watching on YouTube, of course, do the same exercise. Start to write your obituary. So Gabe, who wrote her first one, she put it in the first two in the chat room. One is be a famous scriptwriter, 7 to 10 years. Two, owning a great tourist spot here in Benguet in the Philippines. And three, will be a great photographer with lots of samples as an inspiration. So great job, Gay. As a first draft, get more specific and more ambitious. What does a famous scriptwriter mean? You're a famous scriptwriter, but you're not famous for writing scripts, maybe. Are they scripts that actually got produced, or just you're just famous for writing scripts? And where famous? In the Philippines or in Hollywood or around the world? And are you just famous, or are you making money from it as well? Two, what's a great tourist spot? Do you mean you want to have a boat? Do you want to have a camp? Do you want to own a resort? So that needs to be specific. And what is a great photographer? You said you want to be a great photographer. Well, great photographer can mean a million things. For one person, a great photographer is someone who has great lighting. For somebody else, it could be somebody who has great subjects. And do you want to make any money from it? Do you want to be known for it? When you say great photographer, some people say that the greatest photographers are those who get hired by National Geographic to shoot for that magazine. So you need to decide what that means. I always tell people, when you're writing your obituary, pretend like you are the CEO of your company and you're writing this as marching orders for your staff, for all of your employees. And your employees have one mission: to make this come true. But they cannot ask you for any advice or clarification. So if it says be a famous scriptwriter, and I could maybe say, all right, well, let's help Gay become a romance screenwriter. But then she finds out, and she goes, wait, you put a plan together for me to become a romance scriptwriter? I hate romance movies. I wanted to do sci-fi. Oh, well, you didn't make that clear in your business plan to us. So that's why you need to get specific, because the more specific you get, the more likely you're going to find somebody who is going to be able to latch onto that specificity and help you. Nafi, do you have some?
Shall I?
Yeah,
Can you hear
sure.
me?
Yep,
Oh,
go ahead.
One of the best diplomat of the decade negotiated for the global citizenship.
Beautiful.
First one. And the
That's
second
fine.
one, she appreciated martial arts and practiced it, winning several championships.
Beautiful. Excellent. And
Inspired millions of young people, especially girl childs, in financial management.
great. So same thing I'll say to Gay, as I said to you, just be more specific. When you say won many championships, you could have a local championship at a high school. It's still a championship, but I don't know how impressive that is if it's the World Taekwondo Championship in Seoul, Korea. Oh, well, that's a different type of championship. So just be very specific with them. But those sound fantastic. And now you realize, okay, I've got a very clear plan. Start working on those. What can you do today to get you there? Hichandra posted his. Famous spiritual novel writer. Again, Hichandra, same thing. What does famous mean? That could mean a different thing to many people. Famous Isha volunteer or yoga teacher. Again, famous could mean something different. Helpful human being. Again, helpful could mean many different things to many different people. So just try to get more specific with them. The more specific you can create that obituary, the more likely that you can actually take action to figure out how to do it. Like, quick example, you could just say, own lots of real estate. Okay. That's a little bit hard to get started with. Let's do the second one, we get it more specific. Own 3 condos in South Beach, Miami Beach. Own 1 condo in New Delhi, India. Own an apartment building in Baguio City in Philippines. And own a resort, a hotel resort in Indonesia. Which person is it easier to get started on? The first person or the second person? The second
Second
person,
one,
unhappy. It's more specific. Now you know. Let me go find agents in Indonesia, in New Delhi, Baguio City, and Miami Beach. Let me start doing research on how much the real estate costs in those cities. People think that the more specific you get, the more restrictive you're making yourself. But true freedom comes from restrictions. The more restricted, the more specific you make your dream, the easier it is for you to easily just figure out and come up with a plan to actually make that happen. So Ria, what are your top 3? And Betty, if you want to either share yours, audio, you'll go next after Ria, or you can type them in the chat box. Go ahead, Ria.
So Ria has completed her PhD in social work from the best institution of India like Delhi University or Banaras Hindu University. And the second one is Ria has taught and helped so many poor children to make their career, to be skillful, to be become more passionate about their career. Ria is working for UNICEF and has represented her country's culture with the world and made her country proud.
What I love about this exercise is that you learn things about people that you never could have imagined, right? And I always believe that people are not defined only by what they do, they're also defined by what they're planning to do. And so even though none of us is exactly where we want to be, it shows, just hearing what you want to accomplish, it shows you the greatness of your soul and your heart. And I want to make a global citizen. I want to become a famous spiritual novel writer. I'm going to become a head UNICEF contributor, and blah 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 blah. And I'm going to own a big resort in the Philippines. And Betty, you want to share with the audio, or do you want to type?
Yeah, I want to share with audio.
Okay.
I want to know as people will know me as she is a great woman who have a happy family. She's a great mother who is highly successful kids. And the second, I want to be known as she is a successful business owner, very successful in financial, so that can help the property, especially for the children in the future, very generous one and kind. And the last one, I want to be known as a great leader who will be able to motivate people how to be able to reach a work-life balance. Yeah, if I have successful for that thing.
Beautiful. That sounds great. And I'm excited to hear more about your business ideas and what you want to start. I would say to all of you, and this is for me too, you can always get more specific. And the more specific you get, the reason why you want to do it, it's a good exercise because it forces you to really imagine in your head, how is it going to work? If you just say, I want to have a resort in Benguet, well, that didn't take much thought. But if you really think about, well, how many hotel rooms will there be? Are we going to have sailing trips? Do we have a bar and a restaurant at this tourist spot? Are there discounts for this or for that?
I'm sure she will be thinking about that during like the rest of the day. Isn't that good? Yeah.
And really, what we're doing is literally what businesses do when they put together a business plan. It's the exact same thing, but for some stupid reason, people don't think their lives are a business. Your life is a business, and most lives are run very poorly. And they just let somebody else. Most people run their lives like they're an employee, and they let everybody else tell them how to run the life. I'm telling you, run your life like you are the CEO. And be specific. Otherwise, someone else is going to drive you in a different direction. What they always say is, you're either helping somebody You're either making your own dreams come true or you're helping somebody make their dream come true. It doesn't mean that both of them are, that you have to choose one or the other. For example, you guys are part of break diving, which is helping you to make your dreams come true. But at the same time, you being a part of this is helping my dream come true because I want break diving to succeed and I'm happy to be with you guys. So just remember though, that you don't want to be only helping other people's dreams come true. And if all you're doing is going to work and looking for a job and eating and drinking and going to sleep, well, then basically you're helping somebody else's dream, the CEO of that company, for that person's dream to come true. Your dream needs to be number one. So I want to go back to the whiteboard real quick, just to, oh, it says new whiteboard, I guess because I paused the recording. That's annoying. Well, that's okay. Just what I want you to start doing is, you shouldn't have only 3 things on that obituary. You realize you should spend more time and really fill that out. There could be like 10, 15, 20 things on there. This should be the number one thing that you do. Nafi asked which one of the things on the list is the most influential. I would say create that obituary, and as long and as specific as you can, because even if you do nothing else, if you have that up on your wall and you see it every day, it's inevitably going to inspire you to want to do something towards those goals becoming true. But once you get that full list, that's just basically a business strategy of this is where we're going. What you still need is, what is the tactical plan to actually get there? So this obituary is your strategic overview of where the company, you Inc. is going. After you do that, and by the way, post your obituary in the community. If you want to have accountability, Ria, post it, all of you, post it in the community and let us give feedback on it and go, wow, that's awesome. Oh, I didn't know you wanted to do that. And before you know it, someone says, oh, do you know that my cousin works at UNICEF? Oh, did you know that this, and before you know it, if you share specifics of your dreams, all of a sudden, all the different pieces and the parts start to come together. Oh. Any other questions? Any thoughts? So for those of you watching on YouTube, hope you enjoyed this. Since this was such a success, we'll probably do a time management event once a month. I think this was really great. And I thank Ria for suggesting that I do it. I give her full credit for that. And please click like, please click subscribe, please share this video with your friends and leave a comment if you have any questions or comments. You can join our community. All of us are a part of this awesome community called Break Diving at breakdiving.io. Don't wait for opportunities to float up. You need to dive in and make your own breaks in life. Let's all wave goodbye, folks. Bye.